All right. Thanks everyone for watching tonight. Our first interview. We got Joe Scarpellino, who created the live stream cover challenge Facebook group, which has grown, way more than expected. And it was just a cool idea that you came up with. Joe, you just want to give us a little more of your background and what did prompt you to start the Facebook group?
I'm a local professional musician and event promoter and organizer here in Minneapolis and the greater state of Minnesota and the Midwest region. I've been playing music live since I was 13. It's a big part of my life, and now it's like, and it became like my sole source of income. And then when the news came down that everything was closing down, we realized that we needed another outlet, and live streaming is something I've been doing for a couple of years already. I do a show every Thursday on Facebook, and I just had a fun idea that I would challenge my friend Blake from Space Monkey Mafia. It's backwards right now, but I'm wearing their shirt to help promote their band. I play in and promote a lot of bands. I just challenged him to play a song, and I thought it'd be fun to get us musicians to kind of challenge each other, keep us playing and learning in this hard time. And then the fans got in there and everything kind of went crazy, and it's been growing exponentially ever since. I mean, it's been just a few days and we just went over 7,000. By the time people watch this, I don't know what it'll be at.
That's wild, because even so, folks who don't know, Joe and I talked right before this on the phone, and that was maybe 45 minutes ago. And last time I checked right before then, it was barely at 5,000. It was like almost at 5,000 people. Yeah. And you're just telling me now 7,000. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Well, I started it and I thought it would be fun, and I just never really realized how much people really needed it, I guess. How much the people needed to see music, they needed to play music, they needed something to distract them from this constant barrage of like terrible news. Not that we all shouldn't be well informed, but there's only so much you can do from sitting in your house.
It's an easy way to get musicians too.
Yeah, and it's a good way to supplement income. I was just thinking of like, well, there's no way I'm going to make as much money as I would make from shows, but I'm going to see if I can make $1 or $2 by playing covers for people. And it's, it's actually, it's about evened out my income for the next month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's working out. And sorry.
People are very kind is all I have to say, about that. It's like, they do sure appreciate me, and I hope they're, that I assume that other artists that need it are just, you just have to politely ask, but also provide a service for free because it's such a hard time. That's kind of, I wanted, it's not, no one has to pay for it. It's just, it's nice, but it's not.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. And as we were talking about before, prior to this, as myself, just a fan and non-musician, I wanted to find a way or, give back somehow. I'm entertained by all the musicians, and just not only that, there's value in that, just being able to take our minds off, off what's going on, but also technology is doing what it's supposed to do, and that's bring us together. And this group is a fantastic representation of that.
It's a fun time.
So we're going to do, folks, this will be short form interviews with some of the artists doing songs. We're going to keep this to 5 to 10 minutes, a little bio, a little background, talk about who challenged them, what song they did, or what songs they've done, instruments they play. Keep it around 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to go a little bit longer here with Joe, just talking about how we got started with the group and whatnot. But the rules are very loose. We talked about these.
Rules are loose.
Very loose. Cover songs only.
Yeah, right? Cover songs only, but at the same time, like someone's like, I want to put my music out here. I'm like, well, if your music is recorded anywhere, then challenge someone to cover you. Like, people have already covered my songs, but I can't play my own songs. But you can challenge people to cover. There's many loopholes. The idea is to do it live so that we're all like interacting in the moment as best we can. To accept challenges and to learn new things, but it's very loose. Anything that gets people out of their comfort zone, and they're new performers who've never performed live on a stage ever. They're not supplementing income. They're like experiencing a dream right now, which I think is like a total. I didn't even think about that. Like that is a completely different aspect. So rules are loose.
Yeah, and for the new artist, what a great way to
step
into that.
And for fans to discover them too, just be like, oh, I like that. What do you do? They're like, well, I'm not really doing anything. They're like, oh, you should. You know, it's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. What we didn't really establish a rule. So what should we do about fans who request a cover? Can just an artist pick that up, and then once they do that, challenge a different artist?
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenging is the loose part. Anyone is welcome to challenge anyone to do anything. The artist, doesn't have to be a dancing monkey. They can play what they want, if they want within the time they have to dedicate to this. But I think that if an artist challenges another artist, like I feel like that is taken a bit more seriously, and then people are like, okay. So this person, that I know and respect as an artist is calling me out right now. And then it's a little different. You know what I mean? The artist to artist is a little different than like the fans coming in.
Agreed. I think that's why all of my song requests have been denied.
It happens. I feel like there's thousands of people in there now. Like, just like, it's so loud that, sometimes
it helps to throw a shirt.
And especially around like this time at night, there seems to be like 6 streams going on at once, which is really cool. You can go, I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, a virtual jukebox. You can go
to watching TV, but like
stream.
Friends playing covers. It's very crazy. It's a really fun thing, and I mean, it's a brave new world. So we'll see what happens. There could be 10 people streaming at once at any given time. I don't know. I don't know where it peaks. So we'll see.
Yeah. So folks, when you do, we just want to go over, again, the rules are loose. We want to go over when you post or when you're streaming, you're accepting a challenge. Clearly we're going to know who posts it. That's your name, the challenge song, and the person who challenged you.
Yeah. You can remember
the artist that you're challenging, the song and artist, who created that song. Post a tip link, please, and social media, folks. We want to get back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if you're an artist and this is what you do to make money, absolutely post your own personal Venmo. Just like get those tips coming in. But let's say you're somebody who doesn't necessarily need the money so much or doesn't feel like charging for their performances. Maybe include a tip link to a charity of your choice, to a fund of your choice. Raising money for people in need is the name of the game too.
Yeah, I like that. Fantastic idea. All right, we're going to jump into the set of questions, and anyone else that comes on, we're going to stick to a similar format, get to learn about the artist, where we can follow their work, and where we can support them. So Joe, where are you located, and a little bit of background that you may have not given us when we first started here.
All right, we'll give a quick rundown. I'm located in uptown Minneapolis, Minnesota. I grew up in Iowa. I moved up here just shy of a decade ago with my band Dead Larry. Dead Larry is a band that we've been together for about 15 and a half years. Same 4 dudes. We're like a family. We have since kind of calmed down from touring. I've started another band and a music festival, and then I went backwards into making a production company. So there's Galactic Get Down is the music festival. It's at the end of July. And it's still on, as far as we know. Galactic Get Down the end of July. And then Get Down Enterprises does booking, management, promotion, and event throwing for a tiny little boutique group of bands in Minneapolis. Dead Larry, IronStar, Space Monkey Mafia, Druzy Rose, String Dingers. There are many more. We work with May Simpson. We work with bands all across the Midwest, just to kind of like put cool stuff together. And then IronStar is my new band that I sing. I'm the front man. I sing and I write the songs. And I have an amazing cellist named Olivia, lead guitar player. His name's Max. And then a drummer named John. And then a member of Dead Larry as well. His name is Ned. And I've played more shows with Ned than anybody else in the world. So I pretty much just do full-time music, but I have a lot of jobs. So that's kind of where I come from. And I'm always been just the biggest cheerleader of my scene. I like to support my friends and to share what they do. And I love cultivating this connectivity, and I like bringing people together. I like connecting to people that would do better knowing each other. That's just like my favorite thing to do. I think in the scene is to just like be that conduit But also I do have, I have my own music career as well, that performance that helps keep me afloat. I have a lovely wife named Angela. She is in some of my videos as well. She's in IronStar's official music video. She's right here.
What's up?
Yeah, you want to come say hi? All right. We're quarantined together.
There we go.
Hello.
And so this
Hey.
is
Hi.
since we're here, and she has been here since the beginning of the live stream cover challenge. But she was distracted by a loss in the family for the first couple of days. This live stream challenge was kicking off, and she got into it, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But music's very healing, so that's been great. And somebody challenged me, and I'm not very musically inclined, so I just dressed up and danced. And when I request songs, I post pictures of the bands that I want to be played, and that seems to get a good response from non-musicians.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe you got to fancy up your requests.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's all about getting noticed.
Yeah, get the
in the algorithm.
That's so funny.
But I
Joe?
promote a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Joe, you gave us a little background of how you got started in music. Anything else you want to add to that?
Oh man.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Angela.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been playing at a magical place called Harmony Park. It is a festival grounds in Minnesota that I've been going to for a decade or so. And that's really where I've kind of found my found family. All the friends I consider my family kind of grew out of that music festival and other music festivals in Minnesota. And that whole community means a lot to me. And we're all jonesing to get outside and see each other. And I'm dying. I'm an extrovert and a half. I love to go out. I mean, I go out less as I get older, but there's a time where it was just every night. I would just love to go out and see music and see my friends. And this is tough. So this whole live stream makes it easier. I mean, people say it helps them, but really it helps me most of all, because I am always wanting to be out there talking and hanging. And that's how I've always been. That's kind of how I built the scene around myself, I suppose.
Yeah. And Minneapolis, what a great music city.
Oh, dude, everybody's in a band. Like every single person in a band. There's a scene for everything. There's hip hop, electronic, there's pop, there's classical, there's jazz, there's bluegrass, there's rock. It's just, there's everything you can imagine. Minneapolis has a scene for it, and I love that about it. But it's not even that big, for a city.
Yeah.
It's a big city, but it's not like as big cities go. It's no Chicago, New York,
Yeah, we're kind of flyover country,
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Everyone's heard of Minneapolis. Yeah.
I love it. The winters are tough, but get yourself a nice vehicle. Get yourself a nice 4-wheel, all-wheel drive, and you'll be all right. That's how I feel.
And for folks who don't know, I'm a Minnesota native, lived in Uptown, right by Bob's Java Hut, up in Maple Grove.
Yeah. Just right down the street.
Yeah, right down the street. And I moved to Puerto Rico, so that's where I currently am. And again, just a fan, Minnesota connection, et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome.
Joe, what are your influences? Musical influences?
I have a ton, but I'll stick to like my main ones. I'm the first 3 albums I ever received that define who I am as a person was Weird Al's Bad Hair Day, the Lion King soundtrack, TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool. Those things really brought me together. I really, really, really got into Metallica, and especially what Cliff Burton does as a bass player, because I started becoming a bass player and listening to him. And then when I started getting high in high school, I really got into like Floyd and the Beatles and Zeppelin and got all on the big psychedelic ride. And then I kind of landed somewhere taking on in English Britpop from like the 90s and early 2000s. I love Radiohead, I love Blur, I love the Kooks and the Fratellis, and a bunch of like weird British music that is not Two Door Cinema Club, that is not necessarily as popular in this scene, but I feel like there's some appreciation. American acts like indie acts like OK Go, Alt J, things like that. I have such a large slew of influences, and then I fell into bluegrass world for a while the last couple years. So there's like local acts like Kind Country and Feed the Dog, like really mean a lot to me and the music that they make. And then I got to spend some time with Vince Herman and got into Leftover Salmon, and that was a extremely fun experience. So the bluegrass world is very inviting, and I love them very much. I don't live there, but I love to visit. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I bring my spaceship by their planet. I'm obsessed with outer space. I'm influenced greatly by the cosmos, and I mean it's
Cosmos series.
Cosmos. I mean Cosmos the series, absolutely. But yes,
Love it,
I mean, yeah, the original. I mean, and I'm such a big fan of the just outer space in general, sci-fi. I'm a huge Star Trek nerd. And I'm very excited about all those things.
Dude, have you checked out the Expanse?
I have watched some of The Expanse. With Picard just happened, and then all this nonsense. I had just started The Expanse, but and it seems it's very intricate, so it's not something you can watch lightly.
Yeah.
So if I get distracted, I find myself rewatching the first 3 episodes to make sure I know what is going on.
First season's a really slow build, but then towards the end, and then second and third, it just gets better and better and better.
So I support that. I write a lot of songs about outer space, a lot of songs about love, and a lot of songs about the environment and how we need to do a lot.
Absolutely.
A lot. Staying inside and I mean our carbon footprint is going down during this whole thing. I was listening to NPR, and it's kind of nice in a way to see how much the humans do affect the planet, whether you like to admit it or not.
It killed me when I first moved down to Puerto Rico. There is very minimal recycling here. So growing up in Minnesota, where you can recycle just about anything,
right?
To here, I mean, I feel like I'm killing an animal every time I throw away a glass or something. I wish it was more. I don't know.
That's just one of those things that they have that figured out. I mean, plastic. I don't know. Plastic is really hard to recycle. The whole plastic game is really messed up. But glass and and tin and things like that, they have figured out. You can recycle that stuff very easily. Cardboard. But yeah, no. Plastic is the problem, my friend. Plastic it sucks. But so I take those feelings and I put them into music, and I'm influenced by the world around me. I'm very influenced by my local bands. I have songs that just sound like songs my friends would write. I have a song that sounds like Max Graham would write this, or Blake Foster would write this, or this is just my take on their style, and or Bobby Patrick would write like this. It's fun. It's fun.
The rest are kind of autobiographical.
So yeah, and I just write about my life all the time.
Okay.
Try to say few words or a lot of words just to create a general idea to connect people to through emotion, I suppose.
Yeah. Instruments that you play?
I play drums, bass, guitar, congas. I play auxiliary percussion. I have a synthesizer. I have basic piano shapes. I'm not a piano player. Then I sing and I write songs. First and foremost, I call myself a singer-songwriter, and then maybe guitar, bass player. I've never really been too into playing lead guitar until IronStar, but I'm starting to get the hang of it. Taking guitar solos is terrifying, but I'm used to it.
Excellent. We talked about this a little bit, but in the format for other artists we're going to talk to, bands you've talked about, solo work, again, other interviews that we'll go through this there. So Joe, what songs have you covered so far, and what was your experience learning them?
Oh man, it's been intense. My first song that I was asked to play, challenge, was a Tool song, you see. And that song was really hard. That song, it was 46-2, and I learned it on my acoustic guitar, and I made my arm really tired. I had not played metal on an acoustic guitar in a while, so my forearm was exhausted. But I got this song done over the hours, and that was an experience. I was really happy because I was surprised that I picked it up that quick, and it really made me feel like, okay, I could do this. I can play some songs. And then, I have covered Seagull's Stop It Now, which has been the hit so far. I got all my Star Wars gear on, and because I also love Star Wars. You can love all. I love all the Star stuff. And so Seagull's Stop It Now. I did a Useful Jenkins cover of This Life. I did Luckiest Man by the Wood Brothers. I did not do Informer by Snow, and that was a really funny moment where I just had I said, I'm not doing Informer by Snow. I can't do it. I can't, because I wanted to do it well, and I could have mumbled my way through it, but I'm like, I just didn't want to. I just wanted to do it justice, and I couldn't do it. Then I did Blackest Eyes by Porcupine Tree, Pigeon Playing Ping Pong, song Penguins, Brazil by Declan McKenna, Bound for the Floor by Local H, The Log Song from Ren and Stimpy, Pants by Here Come the Mummies, a song called Raise It Up by I Like You, a local band from former years here in Minnesota. Home by Edward Sharpe and the Egg Zeros. I did Eye to Eye from a Goofy movie. I did I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys and Dream Big by Ryan Shoup and the Rubber Band. And then other than that, I have done Imagine by John Lennon. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 songs left on my list since I last checked.
That is a challenge to everyone else.
So it's crazy, but at the same time, like I feel like I have this extra, it's important that I do as many challenges as I possibly can because it sets the bar. And like I made the group, I can't be.
You're the founding member.
I can't be like dilly-dallying on my challenges, or else people will be like, oh, I guess this guy who made it doesn't even care. It's like, no, dude, I got to show like I'm here, I'm doing it, I'm in. Like,
so of other artists or other songs you've seen, what's been the favorite cover that you've seen so far?
Juice.
Oh my gosh, Juice was great. Blake Foster and Caitlin Daniels doing Lizzo's Juice was absolutely incredible. I really loved, I can't remember her name right now off the top of my head, but there was a woman who played Freebird on a tenor ukulele.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds weird, but it was amazing. She has a great voice, and the energy was cool. And I don't know. I've seen so many good ones. I hate to like call too many people out and leave some people out, but it's been amazing. Pat Forsyth played a song with his son, who's like 2, and that was adorable. You know what I mean? People young and old have been getting into this, and it's just like I've seen. There's just obviously people who've never played in front of people before in their lives, sitting in their living room, just shaking with excitement, playing the songs really well.
They are.
I feel like maybe they didn't know that they were on par. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're at home thinking I could never do this in front of people, or maybe they're just shy, or
maybe they're just festival campfire people.
Festival campfire people. It's great.
Well, even there was one guy, I think his name was Tom, and Tom Smoot.
Tom Smoot.
But I was just like, he did something heavy metal. I was like, can you do Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth? And he couldn't. He did like the first minute of it, which that was great. I was happy. I was entertained.
Like on call, just like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Well, he posted a video after. But yeah, it's and that's I'm gonna try to do as many interviews as I can, folks. There's so many of you though, and I'm not trying to leave one out, but we'll do our best.
I mean, I feel like the longer we're isolated, we'll get a lot done.
Yeah.
And people will love to talk about music and promote their brands.
Speaking of isolation, what are your quarantine hacks or tips that you've learned so far?
Cook all the food, cook and eat it. I don't know. I just, I do a lot of cooking normally, and I just continued with that. But that's kind of, I work from home and I live here too. So I'm kind of used to being here all day. The nighttime is weird, but like I've just managed to just cook and enjoy your food and take your time with your seasoning and your cooking. And it's just it'll save you so much money, and you don't have to risk getting things delivered. I don't trust it.
We left Post-it notes for our neighbors.
We left Post-it note for our neighbors because we are in an apartment building, and we kind of just wanted to let them know that I'm not just being loud in here because I want to. I mean, I do want to, but I have like this obligation now to like put out a bunch of songs a day, and I want to make sure they know that I'm kind of working down here.
Someone responded back.
And someone responded back. Our neighbors are nice. So get to know your neighbors from a safe distance. And spend time with your cats, and then at the same time create art. that's where this came from. It was like we need a distraction, and everyone needs to share their art. They need to know that people are watching them create and encouraging them. So creating art is a good thing, and food is art, and music is art, and it's all, just if you have the time and the energy, just do it up.
Pick up a new hobby.
Yeah, make a new hobby or a craft.
Totally agree. I used to, when I was still in Minneapolis, I used to own a barbecue catering business. So if anyone was out in the Mound Farmers Market 2013 to 16, and you had my barbecue, I hope you enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Too much working a full-time job and doing
small world, man.
Yeah. Where can people follow you, Joe?
People can follow me all over the place. You can find me as Smokin Joe on Facebook. You can find me as Joe Scarpellino on Facebook. I also am in the bands IronStar and Dead Larry. DeadLarry.org. IronStar does not yet have an official website, but we do have Spotify, iTunes, and all that, as well as Dead Larry and Smokin Joe do as well. You can go to www.galacticgetdown.com and check out our music festival, the Outer Space Themed Music and Art Festival.
YouTube, Instagram.
You can go to YouTube, IronStar on YouTube, Smokin Joe on YouTube, Instagram, all of those things as well. Let's see, or you can hopefully this summer go to pretty much any mid to small music venue in Minneapolis, and you can see me play with somebody somewhere.
Okay. What's your tip link if people want to support you?
My tip link is at Joseph-Scarpellino. And I have a little graphic, and then or scarp.joe@gmail.com is my PayPal, and I do have all that information in every video on my live stream challenge. So I have some software to put graphics in my stuff, and I could get fancier with it if I had fewer requests, but maybe we'll get there. Maybe I'll hit like a nice 5 a day or something.
And I'll try to post all the artists. When we talk, I'll try to post your contact info link that you give me at the bottom of the YouTube videos.
I'll put a little description down there.
Yeah.
And make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Hit the bell.
You sitting there watching this, subscribe to it. There's a button right there, I think, or it's here. But either way, push it.
if not spot on, close enough.
Yeah.
Joe, what's the one thing you're looking forward to doing once quarantine is over?
I am going to go outside at a festival and party with my friends. I'm going to talk in their face, and I'm going to hug the heck out of them. I'm going to hug everyone, because this whole no human contact is terrible. I'm a hugger. I love it. I'm going to hug everyone and stand in a big group and run around and talk in people's faces. Like I cannot wait for that interaction again. I'm so grateful to have my wife in here with me and not be by my absolute self, because I feel like you'd get some different moods out of me than what's happening now.
Yep. Anything else you want the fans to know, people following the group? Any final thoughts?
Oh man, I just want to say thank you to all the thousands of people that are engaged in the group, and the hundreds and hundreds of musicians that have dedicated and donated their time and energy to entertaining other musicians, as well as just your general folks on the internet. I am proud to have started this, but I cannot take credit for 99% of what's happening in there. I am posting as much as I can, but really it's a huge community effort, and I just want to say thanks to everyone for being a part of it and making it our quarantine thing to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like we were talking about, technology bringing people together. We're finding out, being isolated, how much more important this is to stay connected with each other. So from a fan perspective, and anyone else that I can represent, thank you, Joe, for putting this together and allowing me to do this. I'm just having fun doing this YouTube, but also trying to give back.
Yeah, I love it. It's not a secret.
Yeah. And everyone follow Joe, support the artists.
Yeah.
Stay on the channel. There's live streams going all day. We got interviews coming with Sammy Danger Strings Catherine.
Oh, Catherine's working hard.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot. Yeah, every time I look, she's got.
I don't know how to figure out who's done the most, but I know it's not me. And like, she might be up there for like, she does one every 2 hours. Like this is her job now. She's like consistently engaging, and I love that. So that's what I'm talking about. People doing their part and more. Like this is, so definitely see how they're doing and see how many covers they've done. They might have me beat like pretty hard. So.
Folks, if you have someone you want, an artist you want me to reach out to interview, or you are an artist and want to be interviewed, my name's Curtis Moe. Just look me up in the group, send me a DM, or it's any of the 20 billion ways to get a hold of each other.
I'll send over some suggestions. I have some ideas.
Hey, thanks, Joe. You have a good night.
Thank you so much. You too. I appreciate it. We'll see you on their live streams.
All right. See you, Angela.
Bye.